Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah and I talk about books in my basement. I have a new bookshelf. Do you like it? It is all manga. We're not here to talk about manga today though. We are here to talk about Kindle Unlimited. I have been an on and off again Kindle Unlimited person for years, since it came out, I think, honestly. And for the last year, perhaps, I have not had a Kindle Unlimited subscription. I just was not using it. And that is my biggest problem with a lot of like paid for subscription boxes or services, is that I simply don't read the books or I don't use it. So Fairy Loot, I wasn't reading the books, so I canceled it. Book of the Month lasted about 4 months this year. I canceled 3 months. I canceled it last month because I wasn't reading the books. I was just spending the money and not reading the books, and that is contrary to how I am trying to move forward with my reading. And Kindle Unlimited I have in the past been able to use reliably, so I kept it up. Now, there are going to be some changes in my household in the next couple of months, so I want to see if I can reliably keep Kindle Unlimited and use it. If I can, it will save me money in the long run. And saving money is what I'm trying to do right now. So for me, where I live in the States, KU costs you around $10 to $12. You can also gift yourself a longer subscription, which is my plan. I plan on using it for about 2 to 3 months, because around 3 months is about where things are going to start to change for us. And at 3 months, if I am still using it reliably and keeping myself honest, then I will use some money I have set back, and I am going to gift myself a year-long subscription, so it's not a subscription that I have to like constantly worry about it being renewed. So this is going to be my first like setup video. I'm going to go over the like 16 books that I checked out this weekend because I renewed it on Friday. I renewed it Friday night and immediately checked out a handful of books. Then I watched Chandler's one of her new videos and checked out another handful of books, and then 1 or 2 the past couple of days. I am like one of these people that will download samples of books and then they just rot on my Kindle. They're books that I'm genuinely interested in, but I just forget that I have the sample and then they rot. So I'm going to try to use KU to read through some of these instead of buying them, because the things that I buy are generally like $4 to $5, and if I read 2 books in a month from this, then it has paid for itself. So also, I do try to buy physical copies of books if I really enjoy them and I read them through KU. That's kind of always been my thing. The Criminal Intentions is a good example of that, and a lot of the indie books that I read. Extra support goes a long way for anyone in any stage of their life, so I like to give that, and I like to have copies of things that I love. So I have my laptop right here, so I will be glancing away from the screen, but I'm going to read these out, and kind of we'll put them right here on top of my manga shelf. If my chair will roll, there we go. And I will tell you the little bit that I remember about them. I tend to, because this is a service that I can just check things in and out, I can DNF something and just move on. If it sounds interesting in the moment, I'll check it out, I'll try it, and then I'll get rid of it if not. And if it sounds good, it keeps being good. If I like it when I sample it, I keep it. So at the top of the list, the most recent addition to this checkout list is Apocalypse Tamer. This is by Maxime J. Durand. Now this I saw on, was it our Progression Fantasy or our Lit RPG? Could not tell you, but it's a tamer fantasy novel, which is pretty much the only thing I needed. I was also reading through the comments, and this particular author is well known in the genre, in that area, for writing series that end and writing reliably decent or good series. So I want to give it a try. It is a system novel, which means that something happens, a system descends on Earth or the planet in question, and people have to start adapting to the idea of levels, classes, that sort of thing. This says dungeons pop up across the planet, summoning invaders and monsters from alternate reality. Ancient gods slumbering beneath the earth are woken, and all humans are empowered with levels and classes gained by, amongst other things, killing monsters and other humans. So I get the feeling that the main character is possibly a tamer type character. The cover is quite fun. There is a young man with an axe and a cat. So I I'm interested to see if the cat is his first name. We'll see. In a very different genre, I have On the Same Page by Hallie Cass. This is one that I saw on Chandler's video. This is a sapphic romance between two girls who, if I recall correctly, don't start out liking each other very much. They slowly become friends, and then as they become friends, they slowly become more to each other. And I really love that dynamic of like a slow development through the stages, you know, friendships to lovers, or even not so much to friends than to lovers. That sort of thing I eat up. I then have Flawless by Elsie Silver. If you read any fantasy, or not, sorry, any romance at all, you probably heard of Elsie Silver. She is one that I have had on my radar, but I have not picked up. I have picked up her book in the store and I've looked at it. The Flawless, I've picked up Powerless, I've looked at them repeatedly. I really like small town cowboy romances, but one, I'm not really reading a lot of romance right now, and two, I just don't want to get burned again because these are always pitched as like book talk favorites, and me and book talk, we don't like the same things. So we'll see with KU. I can try her and check it back in if I am not enjoying it. So fingers crossed. Another author that I really want to try, and I feel like I'll like, but I have to be careful with the books of hers that I pick up, is Kennedy Ryan. I have Real checked out because that is the one that has been the most highly recommended over the past few years. It is a actress and her director, producer, something like that, and I think it is historical as well. She is notorious, Kennedy Ryan, for writing very hard-hitting romances with heavy topics. The newest book she has out, I'm a little bit interested in, but the one it's a sequel to, I will not touch with a 10-foot pole because it deals with a very specific tragic backstory that I also have and I don't want to read about. So that's why I have to be careful. She has some heavy topics that I don't want to read about. So I will pick and choose her with care if I determine that I do like her. I also have a very not my normal thing, but Chandler recommended it, so I'll give it a shot, and that is My Dark Desire, which is a Dark Prince Road book. It is an enemies to lovers romance. I don't know anything about it. It's got a very pretty special edition. So that's one of those things, if I like it, I'll try it. I think this has to do with an artifact, and a woman is seeking the artifact. She ends up working as a maid for the man who has it, something like that. And I think the final romance I have on here is The Proposal by Adriana Locke. I don't remember the premise on this one. I think this one might be a marriage of convenience or a fake... oh, yes. So this is about a bad boy who marries his best friend's little sister. They do it kind of on accident or in a drunken night or something, and then they decide to continue the marriage for PR or something like that. So I'll give it a shot. Why not? On to more fantasy and progression lit RPG. I have Dead Tired. The only reason that I checked this out was because it is by Raven Stagger, and Raven Stagger writes the Cinnamon Bun books that I really love so much. And this, I believe, is about a lich who goes to sleep and then wakes up a long time in the future from when he fell asleep. And he has to like kind of adapt to the new world that's no longer a lot of swords and sorcery. It's more of cultivation and celestial magics and all this stuff. The covers are very fun, so I thought I would give it a try. I do love Raven Stagger, and I know they have a wide range of books that they write, so I'll give that a try. Another very recommended one I see a lot on those subreddits is Reborn as a Demonic Tree, which is an isekai lit RPG. Dude is reborn as a demonic tree. I can't tell you anything else. I will give it a shot. Yes, he wakes in the courtyard of the demonic sect as a tree that eats people. So I'm down. I love that kind of a premise in a anime or manga. Reincarnated as a slime is one of my favorites. And then I really also liked So I'm a Spider Now, So What? That's another one I really like. So I'm hoping to find something like that in a novel form. We'll see. Another one is Chrysalis, another lit RPG, and this one I think the main character is reborn as like an ant or some kind of a bug creature based completely on the covers of the subsequent books. So I could be wrong, but it says yes, attempts to adjust to his new life as an ant in his new dungeon home. So off the wall crazy, but I'm very excited. I then have A Shadow in Summer. This is book 1 of the Long Price Quartet by Daniel Abraham. I was watching, I think it was Sydney at Sid Bookworm. I just recently followed her, and she has completed this quartet, and Daniel Abraham is an author that is on my radar. I have a couple of books either co-written by him or written by him, and I really want to give him a shot. Don't know what's happening upstairs, but there's some thudding. And this one is a completed quartet, so we'll give it a shot. How many times can I say give it a shot? Mageling, a slice of life progression fantasy. This one, again, I cannot tell you the summary on. I remember picking it up because it has some sort of a like wilder monster sort of premise. I don't know if it's like she's hunting them or she's taming them, but I love that sort of thing. Tala had to fight tooth and nail in the Magic Academy to forge a path to power. She knows it's her duty to use that power to serve humanity against the creatures of the untamable wilds. However, she skipped a few steps in her education, like apprenticing to someone who actually knows what they're doing. So, kind of sounds fun. Looking forward to it. I have Fogbound by N.J. Alexander. This is one also I've had on my radar. I don't know much about it. This is just a standard fantasy, and this is something about the fog, kind of, I think, like the metal in Mistborn, but it's more of a fog sort of magic. Sounds pretty cool. It says for fans of John Gwynn's Faithful of the Fallen and Kings of the Wild. So I'm down. It's got a kind of neat cover. The series is called Echoes of Onira. So I said Echo. I believe I saw that one on Our Fantasy was being, or Our, I think it was Our Fantasy. Somebody was talking about it, been recently released, and it was kind of lurking on my radar, so I added it to my checkouts. The Bloodstones by Tori Tekken. I think Tori Tekken might be a booktuber or a bookstagrammer. This one, again, been on my radar for a while, and this one I recently saw on Eleanor Reeves' channel. She also read this, I think, as one of her Patreon picks, and it was in a vlog, so she seemed to enjoy it, so I thought I would add it in. I have 2 classics in the progression lit RPG area. That is Defiance of the Fall by J.F. Brink and Mark of the Fool by J.M. Clark. Both of these are progression lit RPG. You basically start out weak, you get stronger. Do not know the premise any more than this. And Defiance of the Fall, I believe, is an apocalyptic system novel where, again, system descends on the world and it's gonna end one way or the other. And Mark of the Fool, I think, is a school one. It starts YA-ish and kind of ages up. Then finally, at the end of the list, I have The Prophet of Eden, which is book 2. It shouldn't be book 2. I should have book 1. I am going to read, let me fix that right now, I want to try to read the Eden trilogy by Philip Chase, who is a booktuber. So let me read for free. So The Way of Eden is the first book. So that will be the one that I pick up and give it a shot. I love the covers on these. Patrick has talked about these before, and I have enjoyed watching Philip talk about them the little bit he has on his channel, and so I'm excited to try these finally. That is the list so far. Now, will I read all of these? Who knows? But my goal is to read at least two of these or 2 other Kindle Unlimited books. I am going to try to make a video in about a month, and we'll see how my progress has gone. My goal is to read at least $15 worth of books in a month to make up for the $10 or $11 price tag on Kindle Unlimited. If I can do that, I can keep the subscription. If I can't do that, I'm not going to keep the subscription. Easy enough. So, looking forward to keeping myself honest. We'll see what happens, and I guess I'll talk to you guys about this then. Thanks so much for watching. If you have some recommendations for a KU book, either romance or science fiction fantasy, let me know and I will look into them. I will read almost anything. I do not read anything with like death of a child, that sort of thing, so don't recommend me that. But anything else, I'm down. Let's try it out. But again, thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.